Good morning, guys. Good morning. Some good trades on voice chat yesterday. A little quiet day, right? But if you paid attention to the gamma report, it gives us little hints, right? Based on the data out there, that 4,500 will be a key level, right? And then we will get some directional swings along the way. And that's exactly what happened all day if you followed the market, right? We got the directional swings upside and downside. And at the end, we were near 4,500, right? So it was like a round trip back and forth. And expect more of these things in the market for the next few weeks, right? There will be volatility, and today will also be there will be volatility in the markets. And one thing that I just want to go over, intraday, when we said, this is the most important candle for the day, it's not me saying, it's just because between 11 and 12, sometimes around 12 o'clock, not at 10 a.m., right? I cannot call the high of the day or low of the days in, right early in the mornings. But around 12 o'clock, you get the basic sense, right? The reason being here is, when at 12:30, this candle poked below, it was going to be the new low of the day, and it was forming a base here, right? Usually that's just to suck people in sometimes, and that's exactly what happened. And they reversed it right back up, right? And then the next candle obviously followed through, and then once the settlement was done, we saw a strong support here, and then the market ripped right back up, right? And then 45.20 was our volatility trigger level yesterday, right? And then 45.20 was just unable to hold, right? Because if 45.20 held, basically what that was going to say, dealers were going to switch, flip, and then the market would have went much higher towards the next resistance zone of 45.40 and so on, right? But they took it right back down towards the low of the day, and it was a fast move down. And catching this fast move down on SPX, many options resulted in 1,000, 1,500, 2,000% gains, right? Now, and guys, these channels are very useful, right? If you guys draw them, right, as soon as we broke here, bull flag, the market went up. I draw a lot of these channels these days, and they're actually very helpful for me. And let's go back to the daily, right? And on the daily, we're just here basically consolidating near 4,500, and I'm just gonna put the levels that we have for today. We have, let's see, so we got 44.70 as our resistance and support, right? Above this we have 4,500, and then above 4,500 we have 45.30. But 4,500 hold is going to become very hard on SPX. If we can get the $4,500 hold, I think that the market can probably see higher. And to the downside, under 44.70 hold, we got 44.58, and we got 44.45, and then 4400, and all the way towards where? 42.30ish, 42.50 on a macro time frame. All right, just keep that in mind if 4,500 is not held. And rest I'll just speak. Now the market here, if we read, we're just seeing the coverings that happen when these rallies happen, right? When these wild swings happen, those are just basically coverings that go on, right? We need, in order for the market to go up higher, we need a real stock buying, we need a real fund flow incoming, right? I think I might have the chart for the inflows of funds, right? I'll put that up if I see it. And Bank of America usually publishes it. But if we can get the inflows coming in, then we can see that, okay, equities across the board are being bought, and we can probably go much higher, right? Apart from this, you guys need to understand, when you look at stocks like Google, right? Google should be the strongest stock in the market right now after announcing a split. It's a $3,000 stock, right? Went up huge on earnings. It gave up all the gains. Number one, the stock split is in all the way into June, right? So for the next 1-2 months, that split doesn't even matter, to be honest, right? Like, it doesn't matter because of, not many people will hold if the market is weak. And we have a gap fill towards 27.57. Now, somebody asked regarding Google, right, if they can scale in equity. I think Google's going to be around 3,400, 3,500 by the split, before the split, I think. I really think we're going to get that rally, right? But when do we get it? I have no idea, right? Unless Google can continue holding above 2,700 here, it may chop around for some time. And now what you want to understand on Google here is, Google gave us a one-directional move all the way from 3,028 towards 2,784. Now this is one stock that might just chop around in these levels and above the 200 MA, right? So playing options on Google, I think they're going to kill premium on calls and puts here. Unless the market is really strong, we get that directional swing, that's a different story. But I think Google is going to stick to 2,750 for a few days now, maybe remainder of this week and into OPEX. I think it's going to consolidate here in this big range, right? And then just kill premiums. And then let's see, after OPEX is over, if the market is weak or if we go higher, right? On Google, before the split, This 2450 is possible. This level or retest is possible. All right. And if the market is really weak, in case we do get a sell-off, there's panic in the markets, which is maybe possible. Who knows? I have no idea. If something like that happens, we might even get a quick flush to 2400, and then in April, May, June, we get the nice little rally for the stock split. But I think here, if you want to buy equity, you can scale in. Let's say if you want to buy 10 shares or 5 shares, maybe start with buying one, and then after 2-3 weeks, you can add another one, right? So you can, that way you get the best average, right? So equities, you can scale in if you're looking for Google equity long term, all right? So that was Google, and then we have, I'm going to go over Uber and Lyft, guys. But first, there's a few requests that we have. AFRM, somebody wanted to play, the niche, I believe it was you. AFRM, gave a lot of gains back from 173 all the way to 463, right? Same with PayPal, Square, SC, C Limited, many stocks in the market, Zoom, T-Doc, you name it, all these stocks that ran up a lot, they gave up a lot of gains. AFRM, I only see it holding support here. If it can continue holding support here for some time, it can go see all the way towards $80 plus. But to play this name on options and you want to buy leaps because it came down so much, you could. But and if you're buying leap, you're buying time. But understand one thing: this can, in this chop, this can last here for many weeks. So you might be sitting on your position for a long time, right? So you only want to scale in what you can leave there for a long time. And if the support fails to hold here, $57, $56, it fails to hold, and it breaks this IPO support, and by any chance we break this IPO support, the support after the IPO, right, the May support, then this can go down all the way to 30, 20 bucks. Right? Don't fall in love with any stocks. Just because it was 174, it doesn't matter, right? Look what happened to Piton, right? This was a stock that people wanted to buy leaps when it was at 50, 60, right? A lot of people were looking at it, right, from 170, right? And now it's trading at 17 bucks, or sorry, 30 bucks, but it has low as $24, right? So AFRM can also go much lower, right? Just saying, I'm not saying it's going to go lower, but be careful what you're buying leaps in right now. I don't think it's still the time to add leaps. I think one should wait maybe into March or April before buying leaps, right? That's just my own personal belief. So I'm not going adding any leaps yet, but maybe in April, May, I will start to look to add leaps, right? And another thing, guys, keep an eye on VIX, right? If VIX gets back above this zone, I'm just going to draw something here. If VIX, right, the volatility index, if the volatility index gets above right here, if it gets above this zone and we end up holding above it, right, which is roughly the $25 level, right, then this is I don't really chart higher highs, higher lows on this chart, but is bouncing up higher. This is not good for the markets. And now if we bounce from this level right here, right, there's a good chance that we get another spike towards 40, and which may cause panic in the markets and a sell-off in the coming days or coming weeks, right? So just keep that in mind, all right? And on the Qs, right, we have our levels of 320. I think we're gonna get this sometime this year. I personally believe so. 340 is not far if the market is weak. And for the last 3-4 days, we were looking, we had a lot of days here. It's just been inside days, and now it's just a matter for tech whether it's going to go up or down. If we hold below yesterday's support line and we break Friday's lows, then there's a good chance that we come and test 345, 347 on the Qs. 350 will be the key, right? 350 hold will be the key to downside, all right? 350, if we bounce back up, that you can probably scalp calls here at 350. If we get, it might give you that $1 move to the upside for calls, right? And if we hold under 350, then we're probably going to go much lower on the Qs, right? And Uber and Lyft. Now on Uber, I'm going to go on the weekly chart. I personally played strangles on this name. As you guys know, if you're in the premium chat yesterday, we added a position all the way towards here in May. This is a weekly chart, right here. So I gave myself about 3 months for the play to play out. Well, February, March, April, May. So almost 3.5 months. I'm only looking for a $6 move from here, right? The weekly ATR is not bad. I think I can get maybe $42, $43 before the expiry, or maybe 33, 37. This month I'm talking about, right? And based on that, I will take off my strangles because one of them should close to more than double than the other value left. That's our profits, all right? And so let's see, that's the reason I play strangles, because I don't know, this chart is very confusing. Right? This is not bullish, this is not bearish, it's just all over the place. All right, here it's just holding this strong support level, this magnet zone, it just keeps coming back to. Now only the thing is, given the market sentiment, when they drop stocks, they drop them by a lot. They don't care. Like, doesn't matter what stock it is, whether it's Facebook, it could be any stock. They just drop it. If Uber breaks $33, all I'm going to tell you, if Uber breaks $33 to the downside, if it breaks 33, quick move to 25 is possible within a few days. Right? Just keep that in mind. Now, to the upside, if we have great numbers, then obviously 40 hold, we may see 45-ish. All right, on Uber. So I think a big move is boiling up here in the next 2-3 weeks. Let's see when it happens, and when it happens, we'll take our profits. It's just like PLTR. Who would have thought that PLTR, like, after holding the support, who would have thought here, when we played Strangle, that PLTR is going to go towards $12, right? Actually, under 12. No one, not many people in the markets, right? MyStockLife was in, and we nailed PLTR to the downside while playing upside along with it. Right, so on Uber, same thing is possible. This is one of the most loved stocks. If you guys open up PLTR's option chain for 2022, 2023, and look at the open interest, it's crazy. Every kid on the block was buying PLTR long options. All right, so just know these things. LYFT has earnings today, and if you want to play LYFT earnings, if you're bullish on it, I'd probably buy Uber. The reason being is if LYFT goes up, Uber is going to go up with it. It's the same sector, and if LYFT goes down, Uber is going to go down with it. All right, for the market sentiment. But tomorrow, Uber earnings can be vice versa. It can go up or down, no idea. All right, depending on their announcement. And in this, C Limited yesterday we played. I told you guys, instead of calls, I'm looking to play spreads on some names. I mean, this is a big move down. Obviously, a little bounce makes sense now. So we bought the 160 calls, sold the 170s to finance the 160s, right? And I mean, if it just consolidates here for 1-2 days, let's say, for example, if for 1-2 days, this is the weekly chart I'm looking at, by the way. I'll just go over the daily if you guys want. So on the daily, if we maybe consolidate here for a few days, right, I might, here we go. So if we consolidate here for a few days, right, at least my spreads will hold value. They won't lose as much value, but calls will lose time decay and value a lot every day. That's the reason I did not want to go in calls. Right, because the spreads just make more sense right now. However, if it rips 20 points in one day today, calls will probably make more money, obviously. Right, that's great. But then if I'm in spread, even better for me, because it allows me to stay on that position now, and I can also take out some profits. Right, for me, it's more about saving the account than making big gains in this market, to be honest. Right, with spreads, I think it works great. So you'll probably see more spreads from me in this market than the last few weeks. And then we have Tesla. A major double top here, right? And now it's just been coiling a bull flag. One can say this is a bull flag also, but at the same time, it's just been coiling. It's unable to break the 950. The only thing here is if it breaks 900 and holds under 900, we might get the test of this gap fill near 846, and then maybe another touch of the 200 MA, right? And then we see if it bounces off the 200-day moving day average or not. To the upside, if we hold 900, we get through 915, then it might retest 950 one more time. So if you're in puts, manage them early in the morning, right? And let's see what happens. Personally, I believe we might get a poke towards 890, 885, a quick pop in the to the downside, and let's see what happens. And so we can at least get to manage our position. And with that, guys, the only thing I'll say is just manage, protect gains. Not every day is a trading day. Understand the markets. Look at the macro view of it. Right, don't expect a V-shaped recovery in this market. It can happen, obviously, but be realistic. Zoom out to monthly charts and see what's happening across the board, right? And just see in the past history how the monthlies play out then, right? Many people I know are looking to buy leaps. You can, maybe you guys are right, but it's wise to maybe scale in small and not go heavy at one time, right? This is actually a bear market that we're in, kind of, so just keep it in mind. All right, and with that, guys, I think I'll end it. We'll see you guys back in the chat, voice chat trading, and SPX Qs indices. Remember, today's Tuesday, so the premiums will be expensive. Why? Because they'll be expiring tomorrow. All right, and yeah. Oh, Microsoft, Hamza, yes. Microsoft, guys, just by looking at the chart, I can just see a lot of downside on this chart. And I think if 300 fails, I think maybe today, tomorrow we might hold. I have no idea, so I bought time on my position. But as the day 300 breaks, maybe it's today, and it holds under 300, we're probably going to get a move towards 294 or maybe even 285-ish, right? So they might bounce it off this, but if we get this move today, the $6 move to a downside today, our puts will be up huge. All right, and yeah, so let's see. We just need the 300 and under hold Hamza on Microsoft, and I think user might be weak, so we might get our move on tech today. But let's see. God bless, manage well, trade small, and see you guys in the chat.